Hello, welcome to Cakes, Books, and Crannies. Today I have a new challenge for myself. In 3 weeks, I'm going to write, revise, and polish a short story to submit to StoryCon's teen anthology for this coming conference. And I'm going to bring you along for the entire journey, whether I get a place in the anthology or I fail. I'm going to bring you along for the entire process. So come along with me, let's do this. First, let's start with creating a word tracking document, and I also want to look at the guidelines of the story because I don't want to write a short story that does not fit the guidelines and I'm disqualified. In order to check my word count and my progress throughout plotting and all the things and making sure I'm not falling behind, I'm going to be creating an Excel sheet document. So I already done this word count tracker for my previous months. The template for this, I did not create all of this. I watched a YouTube video, which I will link. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy and kind of paste this. Bring you a little bit closer to my document so we can kind of see better what's going on here. So as you can see, I have my old word count, and then you have this little countdown area column, and I'll probably add some more things since this is more of a specialty project. Okay, now time to look up some of the guidelines. So let's look up StoryCon. I don't offhand remember when the deadline for this is. On the website, it says right here, December 15th. One time I actually did publish with Teen Author Bootcamp, which is now known as StoryCon. That's a whole story. You can look at and see it in my last YouTube video. It's at the end. But last time I did it, I literally submitted it on the last day, and I don't want to do that this year. I want to do it a few days ahead, so I'm going to schedule out. It's the 15th, so the 15th is a Monday. I do not want to be done on Monday. This week I have finals, so I really want to be careful of what I'm doing this week. I will just have it due on the 13th. Delete. Ha! It worked! Yay! Oh, but it didn't. Wait, I'm gonna have to. I don't want any shading of any of these, so let's just go here and no fill. I'll have to go in individually and take all these word counts out, but I will do it later because I gotta leave soon. I have 21 days to complete this short story. Yay! I gotta leave for tonight, but I'll work on this more tomorrow. I didn't end up doing any work on the 24th, but I did work at my part-time job. I flip furniture on the side, if you didn't know, so I was working on that pretty much all day, and then after that I went and got coffee and caught up with a friend, which is still very important. We're gonna get it today, and hopefully I can finish all the prep work. Let's first finish up this Excel sheet. This is the Excel sheet so far. Hasn't changed since we left the other day. Oh, and 20 days to go. Lovely. That's okay. We'll get it done. I'm just gonna go in and delete and put all these back to 0. And I'm putting a notes column here. Go word count for short story. That's, oh no, my gosh, guys, I cannot type today apparently. In the guidelines, it says the maximum word count is 6,000 words, and so I'm going to put that as my total word count. This short story may not reach that, and it may, you never know. So I'm just going to have that bare goal here. Then I have goal bar for the month, but it's basically the same as a short story, so I'm gonna go ahead and just delete this. As you can see here, I have the total, and then I have like, oh, this is what I did in a day. Then these are for like, this is 100 words if I wrote under 100, and then 350, 430, etc, etc. I think I'm just gonna change the color scheme because I don't like the colors. Perfect, that looks great. Okay, we're gonna keep with this. I already technically wrote a little bit, so I'm just gonna take what I already wrote and add it to today. Let me show you what I got so far. So the theme of this anthology is called Uncharted. See, Brandon Harrison's gonna be there. The GOAT, the legend. Okay, anyway, I wish I could go to something like this, but I honestly don't have the money, and it's far from where I live, so can't really do that. But I can enter into the story competition, which is second best. Uncharted, basically new journeys, adventures, you name it. So this story is kind of a play on that. Blank document. Love writing in New Times Roman. It makes everything so clean. I know technically I don't have to do this, but that makes me feel good because I'm a very organized person, so it helps my brain. Let's go back to Scrivener, and I'm just gonna copy this. Scrivener is so nice, but I haven't figured out how to like share things, and they want an original Word document anyway, so copy and paste it is. And I have all these spelling errors. How did I get vivid wrong? Oh my goodness, you guys get to see all my flaws. You're really not supposed to do the grammar fixing until you're done at the very end, but for some reason Grammarly's on right now, and notifications, I can't handle the notifications, so I'm creating the story based on a whim. I'll tell you in a second. A few nights ago, I was watching Wonka, the new film. Now, I know it has its flaws. It's definitely not for everyone, but for some reason, I like it. And I don't remember which scene it was. It was probably like A World of Your Own. It was probably the World of Your Own portion of it. It's like they're dancing and you see him open his chocolate shop and it's so like imaginative and you're just like, oh my gosh, you're going to this whole new world before everything comes crashing down. But before that, it's some fun and whimsical. And I was like, what if? For me, getting story ideas is definitely like a flint-on steel. I get a lot of ideas when I'm bored, when I'm watching films, going for walks, and taking showers. I've literally gotten so many ideas by taking showers. Or just like sitting down and being like, okay, what are my favorite stories and why are they my favorite? Back to the topic at hand. So this story, got an idea, I was watching Wonka and I saw this whimsy and fun. And I was like, what if? What if there was a girl who lived in a house full of curiosity? So I started imagining like, what if they had artifacts like dragon scales and still blood-stained armor from ages ago and swords and worn books and the whole world's at her fingertips. And that's why she never really left. And that's why, okay, if she never left, then she doesn't know the magic of ordinary days. And so that's kind of what I want to take on it. It's my take on an uncharted journey, is her unknown journey. She's like, oh, I have the whole world at my fingertips. Why would I want to go outside and have a journey of my own? I'm perfectly comfortable where I am and I like me. I like staying here. But then someone comes outside her house and then I'm trying to figure out what to do from there. That's the beginning. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with the whole rest of the story right now, but that's just like the process. This is too on the nose. Please tell me. Her name is Elwyn Rundle. Does that sound like too much like Lord of the Rings? Like, I love the name, but I didn't know if it sounded too much like Elwyn and Rivendell. I don't know. I mean, like, I had an idea of maybe possibly in the beginning of the story, she's reading a book and she sees these people out. She sees like maybe a boy and a girl, or maybe just a girl outside, and she's like, oh, what happened there? Something draws her out to talk with them. Maybe they're in trouble, or maybe they're like, we need a safe place to go for a second. Can you come with us? And then I had the idea of maybe them coming in and stealing something, so she has to chase after them. Or I actually just got an idea. I could do it if it was they were running from someone. She could be like, okay, hide here. And then they're like, we're looking for this and we need information. Can you help us? I like that a lot better. See, this is why I verbally process. It works out so well. Okay, so before I forget, I want to write this down. 2 kids beg to come inside when they think they are safe. Elwyn helps them. So since I have this to go on, I need to start asking what if questions. So, or who questions. What if, when, why, blah, 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 all those. So like, okay, so who is the villain? Why are they being chased, right? Why are kids being involved in something like this? This is good so far. I got these story writing dice. These are how to help like with writer's block, and then also like if you're coming up with the stories. Bring it closer and let's try these out, see if I can jog any ideas. Mainly about the villain, because like I'm not very good with villains personally. That's me and my dad when I was younger. Let's mix these up and see if I can get any ideas. They have this little thing with games and stuff on it. This is skill building exercises. That's cool. World building, character development, conflict, character deep dive, devices. This is actually really cool. Like I said, I'm just gonna do this in lieu of my story, so we're just gonna okay, we'll do one at a time and see kind of what happens. So this says conniving. So the villain's gonna be very conniving. He has a lot of spirit. That's not good. Okay. He's a rebel, obviously, and he's very charming. Oh no, that's not good. Let me write this down. Villain, charming, conniving. That's interesting. We'll see what I can do with this. I don't know what I can do with this, but we will find out. Okay, that's it for today, but I will come back at this hopefully tomorrow. I should be able to do it tomorrow. I don't think I have anything crazy going on, so see you then.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it's something cheap enough, you don't even have to. You can just throw them away at the end of the year. Exactly. And then that way, you know. New design next year.
Exactly. And you don't feel bad with throwing away because it's just paper. So. The short story. But I don't know if I told you yet, but I was looking at their Instagram and the StoryCon.
Yeah.
And it said on there, it's like, oh, entry is free for this week. So I guess, is it not free all the time? Every time I've looked, it's been free, the entry fee. So I'm really confused.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm writing it anyway because I kind of deviated from my novel to write this. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I might take a break and get a snack.
Do is we reflect reality poorly. I mean, it's kind of like having tunnel vision, right? If you're like,
It's been several days since I've written this short story, so let's rewind a bit. So first, finals. My prayers, and to anyone else who has been doing finals by the time this video is posted, you'll probably be starting the next school year. It's a scary thought. Anyway, number one, finals. That was the thing. I've completed 3 classes and I have 2 left, and I'm completing them both tomorrow, hopefully. Everything got really hectic because of that. So story was kind of pushed off to the side, but even besides that, I was writing the story. I just felt stuck. Like, I had the first part. I've already told you guys what the first part of my idea was, and I kind of tried to go off that a little bit, but guys, I could not think of an ending. Like, I had a vague idea of what I could do, but it was gonna be like this mystery, like plot twisty thing, and I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. So I'm putting that story to bed. And then besides that, I also was like, should I write this short story? Like, right now I'm in the middle of writing my first novel, and that's really important. So should I stop and not make progress on that and then do a random short story for a competition I may not even win? Because I'm just mainly, am I doing this just to prove myself? Because I haven't. Gonna be a little vulnerable with this one. When I wrote this story, Level Up, I didn't really have the courage, and I don't know, I just never re-entered in. Part of it was because the timing, because I did multiple plays in high school, and so after I published this one in a different time, and then honestly, I was scared that I was like, okay, can I write something that good again that someone would want to publish? Because the way I went about this, if you watch the other video, it was very last minute, and right now it is also becoming last minute. I think I was partially waiting for the last minute because it's what I did last time, but honestly, I've just been procrastinating. I'm kind of glad I took a little bit of a break because of finals. It's really important. School matters more, and then writing personally, and I'm like, I started to be consistent on writing this novel, and then I stopped. In the middle of this, I've also been doing, actually I just finished this, I think yesterday, I just finished the next C.S. Lewis Fellowship. That was a fellowship that Brett Harris put together along with his amazing team. It was sponsored by the C.S. Lewis Foundation. It was so amazing. I absolutely loved it. If they do it again, I'm going to put the website link somewhere over here, and I would totally recommend it. It was super insightful, and honestly, it just makes me feel so much better about maybe taking publishing slow for me personally. And it was very encouraging to know that I don't need to publish right now in order to be successful. And so I was thinking about that because I was like, okay, why do I want to submit something? Is it just to prove myself, to prove my younger self that I can do it again? And that is part of it, but I shouldn't have to prove myself. If I'm working on my craft, that's enough. So that really made me rethink my decision. And so I just kind of stalled for a while. And I've been thinking, I thought about today is the Sunday, so I was thinking about heavily today and my day off. Praying about it. I'm a Christian, if you didn't know, so I like to pray about things. I just didn't know if I was like too stressed out about it, to have a peace about this. And I don't know. I really want to try, but I don't know if I should. Like, what if I try? Because I want to try. Maybe I feel better about it because I actually okay, so flashback a little bit. Earlier I was in the shower. This may not work for you, but little writing tip. I get the best ideas in the shower. I don't know why. That's why my hair's wet right now. I just got off of a shower idea. But like, I was thinking, I was like, okay, if I did this, what could I do? So, theme Uncharted, what can I do? So I was thinking about this novel I'm writing right now. I really don't want to write the same characters in the novel I'm writing right now because I don't want to deal with like copyright and all that. And I don't think it would be a big concern later on, but there's like certain contests that say, hey, you can only enter this in if blah 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 blah. And it's, I don't want to deal with all that legal stuff. Like I don't really know how all that works. It kind of brought me back to when I initially began the novel I'm writing right now. I had like, it was like one of the past ideas. It was kind of like, it kind of is like that now, but it's honestly a lot different. And so I was kind of going back and I was like, what if I did something simple? And so I was thinking about Christmas. I was like, what if someone's trying to give someone a gift? But like, I don't really want to do Christmas things because this anthology is going to be released in February, so we don't really want to do that. So what if it's just a gift? What if it's a birthday gift? What if this person has a specific flower they want to get for someone? Maybe it's a special, what if it's a magic flower that they want to give to someone because it's their favorite flower? But what if it's kind of set in the novel, maybe kind of like similar to the world I'm writing in my novel right now? So maybe this world maybe doesn't really like very magic. Maybe they live in a town on the border between the human world and the magic world. And what if her father loves magic, but the only way to get this flower is to go to the border and kind of go into the magical forest? What if she tries, but all she done is read about it so far? And maybe her reluctant friend decides to join her on this little quest, and maybe they learned something in the end. I don't know, what did they learn? Well, we're gonna figure that out. But I kind of like it. Like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, this has a lot more direction because there's an end goal. She wants to get the flower, magical flower thingy for her dad because that's his favorite flower. And I want to attach some sentimental value to that, not just like, he's a random dad who likes flowers. There's obviously a reason. Maybe he did something special with that for proposing to his wife or something like that, right? There's that sentimental value. I want to try. This may be a really bad idea. The part, I'm gonna be honest with you, the main reason why I want to try also is to prove myself, for my younger self, because I think it'd be fun, and who doesn't want to get published twice? And maybe someone would read my story and, you know, maybe they would be happy. Maybe you would encourage them. Maybe, you know what, beyond all that, maybe it'll just be a good story for them to read and then sit there and be like, wow, that was a good story. Maybe make them a little bit happier in their day. That would be amazing. But also Brandon Sanderson is going to be at this conference. Shannon Bester is going to be at this conference. Guys, like, anyway. Kara Swanson, Author Conservatory. I want to try it. Like, I don't even know if any of those people even read the story, even think about it. But like, the possibility that they could hold it in their hands. Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. The deadline's this weekend, and it hasn't hit yet. I have time. And right now, it is 7:30. It's not late. I don't do late writing, guys. I can't do that. If you can do that, kudos for you. I just can't. So we're doing this now. I have a little snack. I have a really giant water bottle from Whole Foods. And I have some energy. And then what I might do is I might reward myself, maybe if I get kind of in a rut, might decorate my Christmas trees right over there. I might take a break, decorate that. And then we're just gonna have fun with it, you know, because it's supposed to be fun. And why not, you know? And if I don't get chosen, I don't get chosen. But that doesn't determine my identity as a writer. What determines my identity as a writer is that I keep trying. If whether I fail, I win, I keep learning and growing and going. Because I believe that there will be a harvest if I don't give up. That's like a part of a C.S. Lewis quote. I'll put it up there too. That's something they talked about in the fellowship. And you know what? I'm just going to try things. And, you know, if it doesn't work, then I'll be like, okay, Kate, that was not a good idea. I'm not going to do that next time. And so this week, I'm just going to, you know, I'm just going to have fun. And I'm going to try. And I'm going to get all of this advice I've gotten from Save the Cat, from Brett Harris and C.S. Lewis. And, oh man, all the writing advice I've gotten over the years. And I'm going to try. You know what? And we're going to do this. So let's write. Okay. Where's my computer? Okay. All right. Back to step 1, organizing and outlining. Okay. Project gift. Everything's introduced. The problem, how are we gonna have the solution? Father returns home from war. Okay. Just name. Okay, let's just jot down what I know. The mom has got to be so sarcastic. It's hard because in the beginning, I could have her being the youngest. She doesn't know how to help, but at that point, she's really young. And I don't know if I really want her to be that young. And so if she's old enough to help, then it's like, well, why doesn't she help if she's a spoiled brat? I really don't want her to be a spoiled brat. Because all of her siblings are helping too. And so how do I do that? I could do the whole thing of like, maybe they don't really delegate the main task to her because they don't think she can handle anything. That would work. And so she goes on a little adventure. Because she wants to prove that she's not scared. She can do this. She freezes. I have a little bit of an outline. Let me look over it again. Mother returns home from the war. She feels kind of helpless, so she decides to go into the forest to get her father's favorite magical flower. So they hit obstacles, and says something crazy happens. Her friend maybe is in danger, and she freezes. And so an elf who lives in the woods ends up saving them, and they barely get it. She thinks that they don't want to delegate tasks to her because she's too little and scared. In reality, they're trying to protect her childhood. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this little outline sit, and I'm going to come back and write a little bit more tomorrow. But for tonight, in the meantime, either I'm going to go downstairs or I'm going to decorate my tree. So, and then I'm going to maybe listen to an audiobook and just kind of relax. I think this is good for tonight. I think one of my siblings is trying to go to sleep, so I'm trying to be quiet. But I got a little bit of writing done. What I ended up doing is I ended up just going off the outline I made the other night, and I just started writing. And I've gotten to the introduction part, and then I've hit the part where I have the catalyst of the story. Part of me wanted to set a window for my skis on this one, but you know what? I'm just kind of doing what I can. I honestly forgot. In the beginning, I set my deadline for Saturday, just a personal deadline. I thought it was the actual deadline for a few days, and then now I'm like, wait a second. It's not the actual deadline. It's my self-imposed deadline. So technically I do have longer, but it would be good to finish it by Saturday. I'm just gonna work on writing it tonight and making sure I don't overwrite. Make a short story, make it concise, but still make sure it's not like too short either, obviously. My phone is low, so I won't be recording the whole session today, but I'll give you updates. Let's do this. I hit 1,000 words, which I'm very excited about. Like I said, I hit the catalyst. I'm getting to the part where the character makes the choice to go on the journey, which is good. I can probably do this in 6,000 words. I'm hoping I'll be able to. I just don't know if I'll be able to finish it in time, but you know what, we're gonna try. So yeah, I got some names. That's honestly, I spent so much time figuring out characters' names. I'm gonna have to go through and change some things, but the bone structure of the story is pretty good so far. So yeah, we're just gonna keep going at it. But it's already 9:30, so I'm gonna stop for the night, and that way I can hang out with my family a little bit before I go to bed. So I'll see you tomorrow. I love it. That's so sad. It is, isn't it? I love it. Okay, yesterday I met with a friend at a coffee shop and we both wrote together, which was super fun. And I actually got a lot of work done, which was great. Last night I was on my computer and I could not think of what to write next. It was just like I hit a wall. So I started listening to some music. I admit I doom scroll a little bit, but I got an idea and so I'm working on that today. I worked on it a little bit. I have another friend come over to my house today, which is fun. And then tomorrow I have the Nutcracker, so it's gonna be kind of a busy weekend, but that's okay. I feel better now that I have the direction where I want the story to go. It's looking more solid. I just hoping I'll have at least a day of editing under my belt. I really don't want to finish it the day of. I want to be able to have at least one day dedicated to editing, if not more. But I think one day, I think I can finish it tomorrow. I think I can do it. She'll be here in 10 minutes. So for 10 minutes or less, I'm going to write. If I end up not finishing, would you guys want to read it for free? Let me know in the comments below. And if I do get chosen, well, you can buy the anthology. And if I submit it and make it in time, anyway, it's fine. It's all fine. We're gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Yeah, I had a character, yeah, he was kind of inspired by the Greek god Hermes, messenger god and of mischief, right? And so I had a character who kind of inspired that, and so he's one of the first obstacles in the story. So he's been fun. And they had to make a tough choice, their main characters, and obviously it's going to turn out bad, and then it's going to haunt them later, which will help me with my conflict. So that honestly kind of helped me a lot, because I'm like, okay, I have something in the back of readers' minds. They know something's going to go awry, stuff, okay, right out of the gate, they're having issues. Because initially it was like, oh, we're just going to go, and we're just going to do it, and this is going to be great. We're going to make it home before my dad gets home, and this is going to be great. But this is not going to go that way. So yeah, let's see what we can do. You know in books where they say, oh, they jumped. What always I imagine people like they jumped is like they literally jumped, like they went like, oh my gosh. But I don't want them to do that, like, because they're in the forest and they're like, oh my, it's more like a flinch. They flinched. Oh, they flinched. They flinched. Okay. I love making little connections that sometimes even the characters don't know about. Like the meaning of Aurelius, I think, is sun, and the color of deception is yellow, and so his outfit is golden yellow, and his name Aurelius, so he's kind of a deceiver. What's Aurelius's weakness? Like, why would he want these crystal apples? And whoever's guarding it won't give them to Aurelius. I feel like the guardian should be like a nice person, but they're like, okay, you're nice, but I'm not giving this to you because I will have to take you down if you take one of these, because these cannot land in Aurelius's hands. Maybe he thinks it'll make him all powerful, but yeah, it'll just make him more human. Oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe. Okay. Anyway, is she here? Oh, she's here. Okay, I'll see it. Good morning. So I'm really happy. I finished my short story last night. Yay! I didn't stay up too late doing that. I did stay up a little later and watch TV, but that's besides the point. I have a little wing for the slug of fire crackling going on here. Give me some energy, help me to relax. Dealing with a minor health issue the past year, and it kind of flared up this morning. So just give myself some grace. I was gonna write, but I don't know if I have the energy to write or not. Not write, edit, sorry. I'm not sure the energy to edit right now or not, but I figured I should probably at least try and give you guys a little update, because what I really need to do is I was going to edit a little bit this morning. My mom was going to read it too and give me some edits, but I need to finish it by lunch. If I'll have her probably finish it today. I can't really believe I finished the story, guys. There was so much self-doubt there, so much, but I'm happy that I did something, and if anything, at least I'll have something to submit, which is better than nothing. I did a poll on Instagram for the title of this short story, and I think it's going to be called The Way Between. Cool, I know, right? I went to the Nutcracker yesterday! I know, I should be working, I'm totally procrastinating. But my mom got me this Nutcracker. It's the Tulsa World Premiere Nutcracker. Isn't he pretty? He's a replica of what was on stage, I think. I could be wrong. Well, I'm gonna procrastinate a little more, and I'll check in when I'm done procrastinating. Alright, I'm gonna try to write, so come along with me. All my comments are done. Yay! What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn that off. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start reading this out loud. That way I can kind of figure out what sounds clunky and what needs to be fixed and if there's any like irregularities in the text. So let's do this. The blue starling flower grows in the middle of the borderland forest under the teardrop trees beside the Farstone River. That's such a mouthful. I'm gonna get rid of the under the teardrop trees detail because I think it's just too much information. 3. Blue flowers, the tips of their anthers sparkling like miniature stars, spread like a river beside the lake. Spread. It's not a lake, it is a river. I changed it. I'm so glad I found that. Oh my gosh. This is why I'm reading out loud. Oh, I spelled Renly wrong. Picture. Sometimes I have a bad habit of spelling her name wrong. I just figured out you can do this fun thing in Word where you can search something. I think you can go to find and replace, and you go to Renly. Well, the problem isn't Renly, it's Renly. Let's see. See, I did spell it twice here. So we're gonna replace it with the correct spelling, which is L-E-Y. Replace all. Oh, I love this tool so much. Thank you, Microsoft Word. Alright, I have edited up to page 15. It is pretty much lunchtime, so I'm going to go ahead and stop for now. I'm going to go downstairs. If my mom's still working, then I'll continue editing, but if she's done, then I'll stop and I'll see what she thinks. So let's do this. Working a little bit downstairs today. Alright, finished lunch and my mom didn't end up reading anything yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and finish editing it. That way I'm done. Do I call it? Do I capitalize the way between because it's possessive? So close, so close. I finished. These guys are following along. We'll see what the results are. Haven't heard anything back yet. Prepping for Christmas. Mom, I want to be published again.
Are you serious?
You got it. I'll give you a published author.
Like real fire. She needs it every day.
Okay guys, story has been edited with an editor. It was such a cool experience. I loved it. And then now tomorrow's the day. I can hardly believe it. I posted a few videos on it on my social media accounts. I am very excited and I can't wait for you guys to read it. So I'll put a link in the description, but I'll be with you tomorrow when it releases. Yay! I'm so excited.